Imagine if we sold a water bottle that helped someone get clean water. It was like one of those duh moments.
But more than 1,000 children under 5 die every day from diseases related to the lack of clean water.
Really dirty water. And I just woke up one day and I said, Dylan, I literally feel like I'm going to die. And essentially if I couldn't get to that hospital for the amount of bacteria that I had in my body, I would have died.
And now looking back, we literally just got back from our 21st water project last week, and it's
wow.
Because of Pargo purchases and the filters that we've implemented as a team, it's now hit over 60,000 people have been helped.
Huge.
And her eyes lit up like I've never seen before, and I think it was the first time she'd ever drunk cold water.
And yes, we're trying to help people and we're trying to make beautiful products and everything, but at the end of the day, it's cups and bottles.
Hey, I'm Aaron Bradley and this is Consume the Good. This show is about asking better questions about how we buy, what we build, and the kind of impact we leave behind. Each episode, I'll be sitting down with founders, entrepreneurs, operators, and thoughtful humans who are challenging the way things are done. These people are rethinking old models, finding new ways to lead their business, proving that profit and purpose don't have to be fighting against each other. So if you're hungry for honest conversations about ethical business, conscious consumption, and leading with conviction, then you're in the right place. I'm glad you're here. Let's dive in.
G'day everyone, welcome to episode 2. We've got Dylan and Ellie from Project Pargo, absolute local legends here from the Sunshine Coast. They've got an amazing story of grassroots, building up a business from the ground up and doing it in a way that is giving back to people. They've committed 5% of their revenue, not just their profit, their revenue, to help communities who have lack of access to clean drinking water. They've got, quite an amazing program going and premium drinkware products. So it's a great journey to follow along and hear how it all started. And let's just rip into it.
Welcome, Dylan and Ellie. Project Pargo, the legends. We're super stoked to have you here.
We're stoked to be here.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Pargo. How many years has it been now since you guys started?
We launched the brand 6.5 years ago.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So, we'd love to hear early days, what was that, even before you started, what was that kind of thought process? Where did it birth from?
Yeah. And we kind of went on a no end in sight trip with looking towards Mexico, but first we had to spend time through Indo. So we thought, let's go to Indo. And at the time, Air Asia flights were super cheap. And it was 2015. Yeah. And we were based in Indo, spending a lot of time there, but then we'd sneak over to the Philippines, or we went to Cambodia, and then we went to Sri Lanka, and we'd do a month or two or something in those places, and then we'd just come back to Indo and spend another couple of months there. And the visas would give us 2 or 3 months, and then you have to bail out. So we were just having the best time ever, and then we ended up flying to the States and bought this really cool old F-250 truck, and then we put a camper in the back of it and headed for Mexico. And it was really cool. We did a bit of a reno on the camper, and then drove down the Baja, met some really cool people doing the similar thing, and then took the overnight ferry across to mainland Mexico, and then spent as much time as our visas would allow, plus a little bit. We actually overstayed our visa in the end, unfortunately for us, when we tried to leave into the Guatemalan border, but that's all right. Drove the whole coastline of Mexico, and then just kept entering and importing the car into new countries. And then by the time we got to Panama, we didn't know what we were going to do, whether we were going to go to South America, sell the car, come home. We weren't really sure, but we were just loving it so much. We were in the truck for over 2 years, and it was pretty much a 3-year travel trip that we went on. But it's funny because after not really working for that long, we definitely felt the need to do something. We'd already been living in this car and truck, and we thought, how cool would it be to have a business that you could be remote? And we started looking into the options of having a business with a 3PL warehouse and how it would work. And there wasn't much soul in it. And we had also, everywhere we had been, whether we were in Indonesia, whether in the Philippines, Sri Lanka, Cambodia, America, Mexico, all through Central America, everywhere we went, we couldn't drink the water out of the tap ourselves. And we were having to source our own clean water basically because we
Just
were...
because it tastes bad, or was it like actually
No,
bad?
because it was like bad. You
Yeah.
couldn't drink it out
Like
of the
unsafe.
tap, so it would make
Yeah,
you
yeah.
sick for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just not treated, and it was also just, yeah, you used to know what water it was. So then we found out about each town having a agua purifier, most towns, and we had it in our camper. We had a 100-litre tank, and then we had a 25-litre tank, and the 100-litre tank was we used for dishes, and it was just in the tap, and theoretically we could have drank it, we didn't really drink it, and then we kept a 25-litre just drinking tank that we'd fill up our bottles with.
Yeah.
Before that, we were buying these little plastic bottles, and it was like turning into a plastic factory. Wow, it's crazy when you're living in your own little space, how when you can see all your rubbish. It's really like in front of you. Wow, this is insane how much rubbish just two people are kind of thing. So we were like, okay, we need to get some good water bottles and all this kind of stuff. And then we were having to chase our own clean water, and sometimes we'd even have to leave a town because we were out of water, and because it wasn't clean, the water that was in the town, and the locals were drinking it but getting sick. And there was another time when we were actually all sitting around eating. It was actually after I just speared a fish, which was a pargo. It's funny enough. And
Wait,
then
a pargo is a fish?
yeah,
I'm not
pargo's a fish. Yeah, so pargo means snapper in Spanish, like the red snapper. Yeah.
Fish like that.
And so we were all having this big feed, and our El Salvadorian mate, I noticed that there was like 20 of us around, and nobody except Ellie and I were drinking water. I'm like, oh, why isn't nobody drinking water? He was like, oh, the water makes you sick. I'll never forget it. He was like, the water here makes us sick, and we'll drink a coconut, or if we get sick, we'll go buy a gallon of water, but we can't really afford the gallons of water. And I was like, oh, wow, because the reverse osmosis water is there, but it's expensive for the locals too. They can't afford it, so they're just boiling the tap water, basically.
I've been in Indo where you sit down for a meal and they bring out warm water because it's coming off the boil.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
that's
Totally.
what they serve up.
Yeah, 100%. And it's probably going to kill some of the bacteria, but it's definitely not going to kill it all,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
can still get really sick from it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were traveling, and it had been a few years, and we did notice there was an opportunity that a brand and someone who had designed something really functional and aesthetically beautiful with this thermal insulated products was everywhere in the States, and there was no brand in Australia really doing it. And we just had this idea sitting in our camper one night. Imagine if we sold a water bottle that helped someone get clean water. It was like one of those like duh moments. I was like, oh, someone's done that for sure. And then we were like looking it up, and definitely nobody had really done that in Australia. At least there had been a company in the States that had done it, and it seemed to have worked. And we were like, wow. And we had a different idea of how we would help, just because of the places we had been, and we had been living and immersed in these locals' villages, in their households, because we were literally living in the back of our camper, and instead of going to the hotel, we would just have to go to someone's property because we had our truck. You're just renting a spot in their backyard, basically.
Yeah.
But in those couple of years, it was really like we were immersed in it, and it really changed our kind of outlook on... There was water there. It wasn't like it was dry and a desert. There was water, but you couldn't drink it. And then we actually found out about Waves for Water and John Rose, who started Waves for Water. We watched a documentary on them, and the filters that they were implementing was the perfect device for exactly everywhere we had been going. And it was a very similar kind of story. He was like an ex-pro server who found out about these filters. He went on a trip in the States and had seen these gravity-fed filters, and he was like, oh, wow, these filters would help out in a lot of the places where I've been doing these surf trips. We noticed that, wow, these filters could be just implemented pretty much everywhere, like anyone that was in this part of the world, or everywhere we had been the last 3 years.
I guess when you're a surfer too, you go to these more remote places where your classic tourist wouldn't go.
Exactly.
There's
not much
nothing to
else
see
there.
except that sick wave.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, exactly. Which is
Go
epic if
further.
you're a surfer, because it's all you're going there for. But if you're not a surfer, why the hell would you even
Yeah,
go
exactly.
there? And we just looked at each other, hey, and we were like, oh, wow. And so we just started looking into how it would even be a thing, and looking into how to manufacture. And we spent every single waking moment for a month, basically, every time.
Neither of you guys had experience in
Ma-
business or like manufacturing or products, or
Not in running our own business. Obviously, we'd worked in businesses. Ellie had done a business degree.
So you're the real brains behind this operation, aren't you?
Oh, I think from a young age I always dreamed of having a business or business with my partner.
Yeah, I
or
think we both had
kind
that.
of grew up with my parents running businesses together.
Yeah. So it was brewing behind the scenes, like
For
maybe
sure.
one day we'll.
Just to be on your own program, I think ultimately for Ellie and I, we always wanted to be on our own program, and I just didn't really want to be an electrical boss of an electrical company, to be honest. Like, that was where it was good if I wanted to that.
Yeah.
So that was the next.
And
step.
you'd already like obviously been in that industry for a while to know that
It was
you
long
did
enough.
want it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
I
Actually, before we started, I was like, I'm going to look at this water. Let's just look up the stats. I want to see how big of a deal this is. And I actually got some stats. Do you want me to read them?
Love to.
Despite gains since 2015, 1 in 4 or 2.1 billion people globally still lack access to safely managed drinking water, including 106 million who drink directly from untreated surfaces. I'm just like, whoa, that's a lot of people.
That's
like,
a lot of people.
Did you guys know that when you were going into this? I mean, I'm sure you would have found out from the filter supplier.
I think we just saw it from being on the ground and firsthand ourselves that we knew it was a real problem. And I think going back to living in the locals' backyards, we did make it a priority of ours to make sure that we learnt the local language. So we were having like beautiful and like deep conversations with the locals. So we did really know like the struggles that they lived, or like literally would be in the camper and then looking out the window like how they live, and it's like you do see the lady like go all the way out, collect some water, bring it back, like boil it. Like you can see with your own eyes that it's so dirty and filled with bugs. The big issue is how they store the water. So there's no, like here, like we have water tanks that are all sealed and nothing can really get in them, and then we put filters on top of our like rainwater tanks in Australia. Over there they have to use like big, people have probably seen them, but like big blue tubs or big black tubs, and what happens is they store the water and then they get riddled with mosquitoes and bugs, so that's like waterborne diseases, and then that's really like how people get really sick from water as well. It's the way it's being stored, not always coming direct from the actual water. The other times they get sick is through their access to water might be from like a spring, but the spring water the way that it has to travel into the village will go through like riverways that have like livestock running through them, or, you know, yes, sanitation's also like a huge factor as well. But going back to those stats, then if you look up the stats of like how many people actually die from
That's what was my next stat, which
Yeah.
is pretty heavy, but yeah, more than 1,000 children under 5 die every day from diseases related to the lack of clean water, sanitation and hygiene.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's a crazy,
That's a
real,
huge
Yeah.
number as
and
well.
it's a real number too. And I remember knowing it firsthand without knowing that true stat of people, that amount of people dying, but we knew firsthand that it was a problem. And then when we started looking up the stats, and I was like, whoa, it was way bigger. I was like, it's a way bigger job than I thought it was, than I thought it could be, what it is. And hopefully the job isn't like a job for eternity. Do you know what I mean? Hopefully in maybe in our lifetime, or maybe not in our lifetime, but soon after that, we can figure it out. Yeah. It's like we're trying. There's people that are trying, but yeah, it's a huge job. And literally every project we've done now where we take filters or we build wells or whatever we do, every single time you leave, it does feel amazing and you've really made a change for that community. And then there's this other little part that's, whoa, there's so many more people out there that need help and could benefit from this system and the fact that we can help more people. But there is a slight sadness to it when you do realise that.
How do you
and it's
process that? Because I know some people, when they look at these stats, and even myself, you look at those stats, you just get so overwhelmed. You're just like, why even bother? Almost, what difference is that going to make? And these thoughts go through your head like, oh, what's the point of doing anything? Yeah. Because these other people should be doing it. And it's easy to blame shift or offload the responsibility or whatever, but you guys are working in it, seeing it. Like, you guys just got back from a project. Like, how do you guys process all that? Is it a challenge for you guys? Or
I mean, for me, it's definitely like, the more you think about it, the more you could probably spiral. But I think just chipping away at anything, we look back now, like when we started the business, we said to ourselves, all right, we've got 2 cups or 1 cup and 1 bottle in 2 colours, and they were in my mum's garage. Yeah. Literally, I think I was telling you, like going to a new cafe every day to try and sell these cups. And we said to each other, if we could help 1,000 people out, how cool. And
Yeah.
the first project we did was 4 months after we launched, and we had enough filters. It was like 50 filters, and those 50 filters went in to help like 990 people, or basically like 1,000 people were positively affected from these filters. And we were like, whoa, we did that. And now looking back, we literally just got back from our 21st water project last week, and it's
Wow.
because of Pargo purchases and the filters that we've implemented as a team, it's now hit over 60,000 people have been helped.
Huge.
Which isn't 400 million people, but it's still a chunk of...
I mean, we think about those people that have got the clean water.
Exactly.
Now, wow.
And we've got the blueprint, or we know how to do it now. So now we can like confidently try our hardest to scale the business, and we know that we can help more and more people. Where it was when we first started, well, okay, we literally had 50 filters in our surfboard bag, locating buckets in Indo, drilling the buckets ourselves. You know, it was a totally different style, a very guerrilla style operation. But now we've learnt how to do it, and we're not traveling ourselves with the filters anymore. We can have them delivered. You know, there's certain things that we can do now that make it at scale, and we can help more people at once. And
that's awesome.
It's
I
still
think also like every time we implement water filters in these communities, our team that we're working with on the ground, so we'll physically go to the project to help ourselves to implement the filters, but then the team that we're with, they'll go back and monitor the filters within a 6 to 12 month period. Sometimes it's a little bit earlier, and it's the most incredible thing when they send back the report and you can see the people's faces with the bucket in their kitchens, in their houses. They're tell you the improvement that they've had in their life since they've had the filtration system. And it's so amazing when you see the photo of someone that you really connected with at the project, because they were so grateful. Like, they all are. Like, obviously some people are more confident than other people. When you're at the project, sometimes you do build relationships with a smaller amount of the community, but honestly, you can just feel it even if you don't know how to talk to each other in their language. They're so grateful. It's like they've literally been given a piece of gold. Like, they know, especially if we have implemented filters in a community close by, and then they've seen the success there, and then there is that flow-on effect where they do hear about the filters. So it's like, hey, can you come and help our community? So I think that's always super rewarding, is sometimes the follow-up. It's rewarding when you do it, but then when you get to see the impact that it's had, it's, oh, wow. Well,
It sounds like it's sticking, like you're getting reports, 6 months later, 12 months later, whatever.
Yeah.
Is it a long-term filter that can keep getting service, or does it get replaced after?
That's the beauty of these filters that we implement, the Sawyer 0.1 micron gravity-fed filter.
Totally know what you're talking about,
Yeah. It's a sealed cartridge filter unit, and it's hollow membrane, which basically means it's like material, but it's going through a patented material, and it's going through a hollow membrane, meaning it goes through 2 walls of that material. And the filter itself, it's a sealed cartridge. You never replace it. You can't open it up or anything. And to clean it, because it's a physical barrier filter, so it's physically stopping the bacteria, protozoa, cysts, E. coli, all the nasties that make you sick. It's actually physically stopping it. Dirt, microplastics, anything. Depending on how dirty your water is. If it's after a typhoon and the water's running really brown, then you have to just backwash the filter. And it takes a minute, and you can backwash the filter a few times with clean water, and that's cleaned out all the gunk, and then the filter's ready to go again. And, and that's all you need to do, and they're guaranteed for over 4 million litres of water. One little filter. So they'll last a family like 10, 15 years. One filter,
Really, I want one of those.
I know. Yeah, I've got one in my travel kit that I have, like, I take with me, just like everywhere, just in case. And it's definitely helped us a couple of times. I wish I had one 10 years ago or 8 years ago when we were in Mexico. It would have been great.
Seriously, that's awesome.
But the clean water really has no language barrier. It's crazy. Like,
you just see it, right?
We're all humans. You see a dirty cup of water and you see a crystal clear glass of water. Doesn't matter what language you speak, you know which one to drink. It's very obvious. And we're all, it's another cool moment where we realise that we are all human, and we're not, you know, we're from Australia and someone might be from the Philippines or from Indo, but we're all human at the end of the day. And that's like another realisation of that, for me anyway, when we're on the projects.
I had a quick read up on the Waves for Water website.
They believe it should be a basic human right to have clean water.
Totally.
I'm like, yeah, like you just assume that, right? But then you just realise, oh, not everyone's got that.
Wasn't that long
Which is
ago
cool.
when pretty much every river in the world was running super clear and clean,
Yeah.
until Industrial Revolution probably changed that, I would say would be the
Probably
biggest.
Many factors, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably the biggest factor. Agriculture, revolution of agriculture, and then the Industrial Revolution really
Yeah.
messed it up. But yeah, there would have been a time back in the day where the Brisbane River was clear. It was a
Jump in
long
and
time
have a
ago.
drink.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
I'll
But
look from it now, but-
no, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's wild.
pretty wild.
So you guys have been in business together now as a couple for 6.5 years. How's that going?
No, we
Oh, we love
Do you guys work close together in the business, like
Yeah.
dynamically, or is it kind of separate roles? You do that, I'll do that, and work with the team, or
That was probably a little bit of a downfall, I think, for the first couple of years, doing every single thing together, because we were like both wanting to do it all and also just learning and figuring it out on the run. But yeah, we do have separate roles now.
Yeah.
But we do run stuff by each other a lot and
Yeah.
kind of bounce off each other a lot, and we work really well together separately, but then come back and,
yeah.
what do you reckon about that? Just to make sure we're both on the same program. It's pretty good. But yeah, no, Ellie runs her side and I do my side, and then
What sides are they? Can I ask?
I guess my side's probably more on the kind of business operations and finance and marketing.
Yeah.
like digital marketing too, with the ad spend.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I look after the digital advertising and more of the online presence.
We also have a bunch of sales reps and agents that work with us.
Yeah.
So it's like a sales team, wholesale,
Yeah. Cool.
corporate sales and stuff like that. So having the sales team and doing all the wholesale, and then like events and collabs and I don't know, ambassadors and things like
Yeah.
that. I suppose I head that part up, and then
You probably take a little bit more control over the product design as well.
Yeah.
We both definitely make every decision on
Yeah.
the product.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
like
Product
That's a
is-
huge decision.
yeah.
working on that together for sure, but I
Yeah.
think you probably
Yeah.
lead that up. But yeah, I'm pretty particular with what colours are getting
Yeah,
brought out
yeah.
to the market on our
So,
Pargo
yeah.
products. So
yeah, totally.
Oh, yeah.
we
Awesome.
choose them together, but yeah, I'm pretty particular with the colours, and if they're not right, we sample again.
And as you've grown through the business, like what are like some of the challenges that you guys like ran into, whether it's maybe like personal challenges or like mindset things? What was the hardest point, or what was the biggest like obvious kind of thing for you guys?
I think in the early days, fear is definitely the hardest thing to break through. I think it's just so scary when you first start out and you like put all these like fears in your mind and you're just like, oh my God, can we do it? Will people even like this? And there's so much head noise. But I think once you break through that, then you just got to own it, and you're just like,
Yeah.
yeah, we're doing it. We're all in.
Sounds so easy. Tell us how.
We did have a little bit at the start where
For sure.
I feel like sometimes working together, the like real big positive of that is if Dylan's feeling fear, then I'm there going, no, it's okay, we got
Yeah.
this. Yeah, or if I'm worried about something, or are we taking too big of a risk? And Dylan's there going, no, it's going to be all good. So I feel like working together like that helps a lot. But yeah, fears was definitely a challenge. I think from a business, operational, product kind of angle, I would say manufacturing is pretty challenging. Lots of things can go wrong. Your timelines can get blown out. You think your product's arriving and it then gets delayed. I think you really have to be like on your feet to know how to pivot when that happens, because, yeah, I don't know, you always
Because
think
it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
always
That's
Yeah.
why. Because it will happen.
yeah, I
In
think that's
manufacturing anything.
yeah, I find that probably one of the most challenging things is like lining everything up and like pre-planning the marketing and getting it all organized. Like every time we go to release something new or bring something to market, we're like, yeah, we're going to be so organized, we're going to do this, it's going to be done like so many months ahead, and then the sample didn't arrive in time or it wasn't quite right, so then you have to resample, and you've planned everything out for the next 6 months, and I don't know, you're just always having to juggle those kind of like calendars. And I think truthfully it's probably not my strong point, but I like I want it to be. But I think just as a business owner, I think you just have to be super flexible. And
I'd wear all the hats at the start. I think that was something we're pretty good at. And then I think as your business grows, I think you have to realise you can't wear all the hats. That's something that
You start dropping the ball on all of them, and then you realise I need some help.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You'll get too spread too thin, but then you don't want to have too many people, because then as a small business anyway, that would create a different problem, I believe. You still want to have everyone working hard for it in a way. Like, you don't want to have too many people to do not enough jobs ever. Like, you don't want to hire too quickly. I think that's a problem that could happen. And I know when Amber first joined our team, she was our first employee, Amber. Shout out to Amber. She's a legend, still works for us.
Oh.
When she applied for the job, she was expecting like a bit of a team to come to. And there was just Ellie and I.
Yeah.
It was like, we were like a few years in, 2.5 years into the business, I think. And running off our feet, like so busy, doing every single thing, just Ellie and I. And then sadly my dad got sick and was like really pushed us. And we were like, we already needed somebody about 4 months earlier, but we didn't. And then we were like, okay, we really need someone to help us here. And Amber came in, and I remember her saying, "Oh, so it's just you guys."
Classic.
So that was kind of cool. But
I was good. Testament to you guys.
Yeah.
Like, how did you run this whole business?
Like we already had hundreds of stockers, and we were busy. We were definitely busy. But I think that's something for us: not hiring too soon.
Yeah.
What's that saying? Hire slow, fire fast. Not about firing anyone, but just hire not too.
The
too
timing's
quickly.
crucial, like, especially if you're going and you got. Sometimes it's tight, right? If I bring that person on, I need to grow the business to this level to make that justify. And you're trying to smile and give job security to everyone.
We're a business. We're not a charity.
Yeah.
We're giving away a lot of our revenue. And that's what the whole business is about. Yeah. But it's still a business. And like you said, you need to provide for people and yourself. And the business needs to function as a business. Yeah. So you need to, we don't want to have the business not be able to help people, because the whole idea of a Pargo, the whole idea of a Pargo is you buy a Pargo to help somebody get clean water, and that's the number one thing in our business. It's everyone. That's it. That's like the top of the list. Help as many people as we can, and a paper thickness under that is like make really beautiful products that elevate your day-to-day life, that fits into your life. They're kind of like our two equal pillars, but helping people just sits like just on top. So selling more means we're helping more, but you also can't sell something if the product doesn't stand up to it. The product has to be really good, so people necessarily don't even care if you're helping people, and it's almost like a bonus to some. Yeah. Others will buy into it purely because you're helping people, and they know the product's good, but we just want to make that product really good, so then...
Well, you're going to sell more, right?
Exactly.
Like, if you're twisting arms to buy, look, support my charity business.
It doesn't matter how good your cause is. If the product doesn't back it up, then it's not going to last. Yeah, totally. So we were really, and still are, about manufacturing and design. And Ellie said, I'm head up the design. Like, I'm really particular with what we build, and every little detail of the product has to be. Yeah, it has to be like on point. Whether it's the sip hole in the coffee cups, whether it makes sure they fit under the group head of every machine, like all the lids fit all the cups except our smoothie cup, all the bottles, the flow, the way you drink through it, every little detail. Like, we've really designed everything ourselves. Yeah, I think that's for us has been like a really good, like a strong point for the business to like be profitable and be able to keep helping people.
Because you guys obviously set up from the start with this water project idea. Yeah. Was there ever a moment in business where you're like, oh, it'd be way easier if we didn't have to donate all this money? Like, was that ever like a thought that you like wrestled with, or is it like, nah, this is 100% like?
I think it would be harder actually, because we always say that I don't know if we could still keep going if we were just selling like water bottles and coffee cups. I think our like biggest motivation is to like get up to be able to help people, and I think doing the projects and having people that invested in Pargo show the impact that they've made is like what gets us out of bed in the morning. Yeah, totally. And we always say that like we are going and doing the projects and like doing all of the organisation, like a lot does go on behind the scenes to like actually get to the project and get the filters into that community. But yeah, we always say that it's actually not us doing it, it's like the people that did invest in Pargo. Even for our team that work for us, like seeing if Amber's putting an email out, like the correlation of that gives her so much drive. It's okay, cool, like that generated sales, which will help this many people. And I think that having that kind of purpose behind the business makes everybody want to come to
And do you
work.
feel like your whole team is fully on board and, this is sick, like I'm chasing it? Do you feel like it's been helpful to hire that more staff
For
easier,
sure.
or-
Yeah, 100%.
And so for our team that like usually like after a year that you've been with us, you're going on a water project. So
Yeah, cool.
I think most of our team, I'm pretty sure all of them have come on a project with us. Some of our sales agents we've taken on projects with us as well. And that just drives their, what's the word? Yeah, it just drives their passion even more because they've actually got
Connects
to see
the dots, right? Like,
they can see it firsthand. I know that Joel that works for us when he came on a project and like he'd been working so hard with us over like since day one for the first couple of years, and then he came on a project and he was just like him even selling Pargo into Slide and having that first-hand experience of actually the water filters and the joy on people's faces, it's just made him want to go into more stores and sell the product.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I think that's...
Definitely.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Because we take 5% of revenue and put it aside every single month. So after that 30 days, like we'll get that revenue and put it like straight into the fund. So it's like off to the side anyway. And I guess I don't, it's so different to paying a normal
invoice,
business.
I feel like a way better bill to pay, right?
Yeah,
like,
totally. Yeah.
I don't ever see it as like, it's so different because you're not paying like an invoice.
It's like an
for
exciting
something.
bill to pay in a way because it means we're going to go help people out and
You know, I'm going to buy
on a
more
trip.
pallet racking.
Yeah.
Like, they're not fun bills to pay, but like I don't think about it as, and they, they usually are like $20,000-$30,000 projects or even more sometimes, depending on how many filters we're implementing. But I always just put it. I think it's an emotional.
Yeah,
So.
for sure. Yeah, where do you think like that came from? Because like, there's a lot of people. I bump into people all the time. They're like, "Oh, I'd love to do a business that does something good." Like, where does this kind of desire for you personally like come from to bring a business to the world that's actually going to do that? Because you could technically take another path, maybe make some more money some other way. And 5%, sounds small, but like I run a business and I know 5% off the top line revenue is
it's a fair
huge.
bit. Yeah.
It's big.
Yeah, I think
is that how it works, right? Off the sales?
Exactly.
Yeah,
5%
so it's like
of the revenue.
you might potentially lose money in certain months in your business and you're still giving 5%.
Yeah.
That is
100%.
hard.
Yeah, that was our big decision that we made. I think we'd seen a few other companies say they were giving away profits, and I just immediately was like, if you know anything about business, you know that you can construe your profits a little bit.
Yeah.
You need to buy assets for your business, which reduces your profits. That's one reason. And we just never really resonated with those brands that were giving back. Or they would be giving back to a point, but any kind of number of the profit for me was a hard number to believe. We had actually done, before we actually marketed the 5% of revenue, we had done X amount of projects with the revenue, trying to get a like 1-for-1 sort of thing going on. And we
So you're still trying to work it out as you started.
And when we first started, and we realised that we had actually given away 5.3% of our revenue.
Oh, cool.
5% of your revenue, and you can put that aside, and that's going to give this amount of people clean water for every sale, and that's how. And then it's scalable.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay. And then we realised that 5% of revenue is a lot.
Yeah.
But it also takes a lot of money to be able to donate these filters and do a water project because they're not a $10 filter. Like it's like $100 plus per system that we're implementing.
Yeah.
And so
it lasts longer.
Exactly. They're the best gravity fed filtration device in the world. So for us to even help people, we need to put about that amount of money aside for it to even be feasible. And then, having that number is like like you said, if business, that's a lot of money. And some people probably don't recognize that's a lot. 5%, that doesn't sound like a lot, but I think enough people do know. Yeah, definitely. Which is cool.
We want people to feel the impact that their Pargo purchase is making too.
It's guaranteed almost.
Exactly.
Yeah, like yourself investing in Pargo for Slide. Imagine all the people's lives that you've changed now from water, from giving clean water. Yeah. I know then it's your customer coming in here and purchasing the product as well. But it still took you to invest in it to help. And I think that if we were like, oh, okay, let's just do 1%, like we'd probably do one project every year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
It doesn't really have that kind of emotion connected to it because it's not that impactful.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
So that was the magic number, 5%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it turned out to be.
that's
Just-
what we always set out to do. And I think going back to your question about people wanting to start businesses that give back, I think for us it all came about by our own experiences. And I think that most people that I guess have success in giving back comes from a deep within like passion or experience that they've had. I don't think you can just wake up and go, oh, I think I might start helping out these people in these countries or do something if you haven't really had an experience, because then you would just be doing it for a business transaction. Like it's not.
Yeah, or a marketing exercise. on the
Exactly.
side. Yeah.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't have longevity. But yeah, even just going back to when Dylan talked about starting Pargo at the beginning of the episode, I guess like throughout those 3 years, we did have so many different experiences that came back to the clean water idea. And got, you know how you said about the stats that how many people die per year and like per minute an hour. Yeah, like I unfortunately drank like a lot of dirty water in one time. It was like a long story, and I think other people out there would resonate with getting things like barley belly and different things like that, where you can get really sick from that. And then there's like the other, if you get really sick from that, you can get better. You can take charcoal tablets and things like that. But then there's this other level of like really dirty water. And yeah, I just woke up one day and I said to Dylan, I was like, you need to take me to the hospital. I literally feel like I'm going to die. And when we were in Nicaragua, and yeah, anyway, Dylan took me to the hospital and like got all these blood tests and had every like probably Giardia and like so
a lot of bacteria, and they
so much bacteria. And yeah, like essentially if I couldn't get to that hospital for the amount of like bacteria that I had in my body, I would have died. Like that's why people die.
Wow.
And yeah, I think that was kind of like a huge wake up call. Like, oh my God, like imagine if we didn't have money to like get to the hospital. And you know, like when you travel, you obviously have travel insurance, but you have to pay the bills up front and things like that. So it was like a pretty actually fancy hospital in Nicaragua, and they looked after me super well. But we had that experience, and then like we were super fortunate enough to like have traveled a lot, and I traveled heaps when I was younger with my family. And there was like this one other moment when we were traveling, I was writing down all the countries that I'd visited, and we were like crossing a border in Central America at the time, because we were like driving for 8 hours, and I was like, I'm gonna write down all the countries. And I got to the end and counted them, and that next passport stamp was going to be the 50th country that I'd traveled to, and I was like 25 at the time or something. And I looked at Dylan and I was like, I actually don't even feel like, not like proud or like accomplished or anything, but I just looked at him and I was like, the next country that I go to, I want to make an impact. I don't want to like travel for ourselves anymore. Like we always helped out along the way. It was like came naturally to us as one family. We like did give a bunch of money, not a lot, like
a few $100s, I think.
Yeah, I think it was $500 or something like that. And they like were able to build this like big structure so that they could expand their like tiny little restaurant that we were like eating from. And like we did things like that, and always like
helped out where
tried
we
to
could with
give
the people you come
the
in
kids
contact
food.
with.
And
Yeah,
there was this
so
other moment actually where the insulated water bottle came into it, because we had an insulated water bottle when we traveled, but it was really like basic and a really small.
It was like a Coca-Cola shaped one, a big heavy one, pretty ugly.
Not Pargo standard.
No.
Not
The
Pargo
design.
standards. That was one of the
Very
reasons.
hard to clean. That was the problem.
Oh,
Very
right,
hard to
okay.
clean, so then
Yeah.
it gets all smelly and manky, and
Yeah, then you got
we don't
unclean
like
water
that.
again. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so we'd fill our water up with that. So we'd always talk about how badly designed this water bottle was. But yeah, this one girl where we stayed for ages, she'd come up to our camper every day asking us for water. Well, over there, she'd be like, agua, agua, agua to me. And like Dylan would be out surfing and she'd end up like hanging out with me for hours. And I let her drink from my water bottle one day, and she drank from it. and her eyes lit up like I've never seen before. And I think it was the first time she'd ever drunk cold water.
Wow.
And it was just like that moment of
It's El Salvador. It was super hot.
it was
that's
just
right.
that moment of the insulated water bottle keeping it cold, and like this little girl that, like, you know.
There's a lot of connection there for you guys.
Yeah.
Like, I imagine, like, with the products you're making now,
Totally.
with
Yeah.
giving back, like, you actually literally got memories of these
Totally.
types of products and these people.
That's what we said. We were like, we need, if we're going to do this and we're going to help people, like I said, we've got to make the products really nice and like premium. But we just researched all the pain points of all the products and
Yeah.
tried to eliminate basically every pain point that was in the market.
Yeah.
And then bring it in and make it like an Australian version of what had been done but not had been done. Try and do it in a better way. Like we didn't want to have a plastic straw sitting in our beautiful stainless steel water bottle because that never made sense to me. Like why you would spend a bunch of money on a really sweet water bottle and then just and to not drink plastic and then you just have your plastic straw just sitting in it all day. It just never made sense why companies actually still do that. But so putting a stainless steel straw in the bottle with a silicone adapter, it was just like those little things. We wanted to make sure that we designed something that was really easy to use and easy to clean, that was really high functioning. And it was because of those moments. Like there's heaps of moments like that were like pivotal in why we started doing what we were doing. And even our cups, like there was no like cool looking cup that looked like a takeaway cup that was reusable. They were all like a bit weird looking.
Because about 6 years ago, we felt like there was a gap in the market there was lots of people investing in reusable products, but they were like a little bit more feminine on the feminine side. And it was like, I noticed that a lot of women were trying to get their partners like, hey, use this reusable cup, and oh no, I don't really want to, kind of thing like that. So I think that was like a bit for us. We're like, let's make a cup that like guys want to use and feel like comfortable
As
taking
a
to the cafe.
barista,
And,
I appreciate that.
you know, not everybody's perfect. Don't hold anyone to like if they're using it, but I think if you can just eliminate those cups 80% of your life, like you're doing something.
It's like
good.
a habit thing. I think that's the easy. Like
That's
once it's
the
a
thing.
habit, it's
Yeah.
like you've saving hundreds per
For
year.
sure,
Right? If you're
yeah.
a regular coffee drinker, or
Totally.
like
It's a real simple
plastic water
switch
bottle.
too. If you switch the two items, which are our two biggest sellers, that if you switch those two items in your day-to-day life, you really do help a lot.
You guys started out, bootstrapping sales to each cafe. I'm assuming some retailers and
Cafes
whatnot.
and retail and
Yeah.
surf stores and stuff like that.
Mostly started out wholesale and then online as well, I assume.
We started out online, as in like
Yeah.
we launched online and we
Yeah.
were kind of like, oh, we're going to launch it. And then we pre-sold for was it a week or two. We did a
Yeah.
little pre-sale and we were thinking that nobody would buy them.
Yeah,
And we got heaps of sales online and we were like,
Sick.
oh, whoa.
this is working.
A lot of them were our friends, which was really nice. But a lot of people we did not know anything because obviously we were looking at the Shopify. We had no idea who these people were. Like, how are they even finding us? It was bizarre.
Yeah.
And then, as soon as we had them, we realized that they were... I think when we very first... Before we actually had the products in the warehouse or the garage, my mum's garage, we thought, online for sure. Literally, the day we had the cups delivered, Ellie's brother had this meeting with... He was running a business and he had a meeting with all these like corporate people coming. He goes, you should try and get this logo on the cup.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, I've been trying to figure this out for a while. And he's like, look, if you can get it done by like the next 2 days, like you never know. And so we ended up getting them done. And the CEO of this ASX listed company is, wow, this is really cool. He's, I'm going to buy one of these for every one of my staff.
Whoa.
And he just bought
750
cups.
Oh,
And,
numbers
the
gal over here.
in the first week. And
He
we
was
were
like, how much are they?
we were like, oh, hold on, let me just figure that out. Anyway,
Yeah.
so we figured that out and we realized that wholesale and corporate was a huge market.
Yeah.
And that's when I actually called Joel, my friend, who's now our agent,
Joel,
Jolie.
legend.
Shout
Yeah.
out to Jolie,
Yeah.
legend. Has helped us so much and continues to help us. We were friends before it and now we're like brothers.
Yeah, he talks highly of you guys. and
Yeah.
he's raving about the project he went on with.
Yeah, he's such a great guy, Joel, and so are all our sales team for sure. But yeah, Jolie literally came and helped us, and he was like showing us old brands wholesale catalog documents. He's like, just this is what I'm selling for the other brands I work with. And we just were like, okay, that's a bit of inspo. Let's just create our own versions of that and figure out the pricing. So we just had to learn on the fly. And
I
then
remember you talking to him on the phone and it was like on speaker and I had my notepad and I was like writing down all these words that he was saying. I was like, I don't know what that means. We'll have to research that.
But yeah, then I asked him for some advice. I didn't actually ask him to come help us sell them. And he was like, oh, I've seen it online, it looks really good. Don't worry about advice, let's do it together kind of thing. And that was a short story of how we started working together. Then together we reached out to stores all up and down the coast and literally just knocked on the doors of any kind of nice store that we thought the product could sit in and just went full old school guerrilla style, and still how we do it today, to be honest. Yeah.
And how many stores are you guys, is there a number of stockers that you have in your head of where you're up to now?
We're over 500 now.
Wow. That's
yeah,
huge.
we got a warehouse in New Zealand, in Auckland, a 3PL warehouse, and we have our warehouse here, which is in Coolum, just around the corner. Yeah, pretty much.
It's been a beautiful experience having everything
Yeah.
brought back in-house. You had so much more control.
And just the vibe of having the team together. We were
So
fully
nice.
remote team, which was awesome when it was Ellie and I, because we could be anywhere anyway. And then Amber came on and remote was great. And then as the team grew, we were all still remote and we would catch up in person like once a week, which was great. But I think ultimately having the culture of people together, maybe not every single day. If you want to go work from home, that's totally fine. But ultimately everyone thrives when they're together. And it's a lot easier to get things done, and just just high vibes is good, you know, everyone at work hanging out and playing cards at lunch or whatever, you know, just it's been a really good
place to work.
It's been a really good change. Yeah, no, it's great. It's awesome.
Yeah, so just thinking back to those early days when you were starting out, like I said, there's a lot of people that want to start a business and probably feel overwhelmed of the whole idea, or don't have the money, or don't have the knowledge, or what advice would you give yourself before going into it, or like things that you wish you knew earlier?
I think a little bit of advice to people that want to start a business is I think you have to be really sure of the market. And I have heard of people before being like, oh, I've got this idea, but don't tell anyone. Don't like it's all this like big secret kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't think that's probably the best first step to take. I think the first step to take is, I've got this idea, what do you think? Would you buy it? You ask your grandmother, you ask your mum, you ask like all different ages.
Good.
Yeah, because that's what you want. You want people's like honest feedback. You want to get their initial reaction. We definitely did that a lot with Pargo when we started. Like
people like, you're going to sell coffee cups? Water bottles? I had a few of them. Like, oh no, Dylan. yeah, totally. We'd seen it though. We knew that there was everyone from 18 to 60 years old in America had an insulated product up in their hand at all times.
But even selecting the colours, we had like our friends, we'd ask, hey, what do you think about this colour or that colour? And just, I think, bringing people into your zone and like asking for people's opinions and help and things like that definitely works at the start. And if anybody ever reaches out to me now, after, which people sometimes do, they'll ask me a question or something, I'm like so eager to help them, because that's what it all goes around in circles. And at the start, we definitely met up with people that had businesses, and you can just learn so much from other people that are walked the walk before you. And I think
for sure.
I just think that knowing the market and being really confident that there is a gap in the market for it at that time, or re-innovating something, or just coming up with your own concept, I think is important as well. And
so early testing, like just get it out there and see if the feedback lands, and if everyone loves it, you might be onto something. If people are shutting it down, like maybe
be open to it. And also if you're confident there is that gap in the market, I think, hopefully it doesn't sound too cliche, but like having a community of people is going to help. Whether you know them personally, I know the new word of mouth is like Instagram, but I still think word of mouth is the coolest form of telling a story. And if you know a bunch of people, tell them all. Tell them what you're doing and let them help you by telling their friends. And even if it's just verbally, it's still going to help if you've got a pool of people that can help you spread the word, basically, spread the good word. And if you're trying to start a business that's want like helping people, which I think is amazing. And I think a new business is a lot easier to have that concept of helping than incorporating it into an already running business. I think that would be really difficult and almost impossible. But like, oh, we're going to start planting trees now. If you really want to plant trees from the start of the business and you're connecting the dots, however it connects, to helping reforest, and then focus in on that and work out how. I'm not sure what kind of business right now off the top of my head that could be. It could be a business that's making timber products that's then replenishing the timber or something along those lines, or a food business that was a restaurant that's helping people get food in other parts of the world, or a lunchbox that's helping people get food or something like that. But trying to do it after the fact.
Take notes, people.
Yeah. Trying to do it after the fact would be really hard. I think having it like if you're going to do a business that is helping, and business is really powerful. Like even our small business, like we've helped heaps of people out.
Yeah.
And relatively small business in the big scheme of things of the world. And it's crazy how powerful a business can be. Like Ellie said, it's like everyone else it's a team effort helping people. Like it's not Ellie and I buying the filters out of our personal bank account. It's out of the business bank's account, which is obviously a lot bigger than our bank. You know what I mean? That's that idea that even a small business can be quite powerful. And if it takes off, then you can do some really positive things with the revenue of the business or the profit of the business or whatever. Yeah, that would be my advice.
Yeah.
Get a community.
I think it's pretty incredible today, though, like how much access to information that we have. Like we always say, oh, we're just winging it. Like we were saying it even earlier. Oh, we're winging it kind of thing. But I think deep down knowledge is power. And I think when you don't know something in business, you as a founder, you just have to put it, you're the one that needs to learn it at the end of the day. And I think if you've got that mentality, then you'll be more likely to succeed rather than just, oh, I don't know how to do it, I'm going to get somebody else to do it. Because what happens when they leave, then you don't even know how to do it yourself. So I think, I guess a bit of advice, like, and what we always do is we try to know majority between the both of us every single part of the business, whether that's like the software, the manufacturing, the how to print a shipping label and put it on, like what happens if someone's not there, then you're the one that's got to step into that. So I think if you had that mentality from the start, then what a privilege. You get to use your brain.
Well, I was just going to say, even just finding that information is so easy these days. Like, we're so privileged to have access to that, and we have so much potential and ability to really pursue whatever we want to give a go, give it a crack. Yeah, sure, it might not always work out, but we have the ability to actually try. Some people don't actually have that as much access to that resources and information, and
we're very lucky.
We're privileged. And some would say you're privileged as a negative thing. Someone kind of mentioned to me once, like disowning that. I was like, I'm privileged, but like, how am I going to use that privilege, like, just to be using it all for myself, or am I going to use that privilege to actually do something with it and actually bring something to the world?
For sure. Yeah. Humans are all opportunists. Doesn't matter where we're from. You know, an opportunist, and our opportunity is different to other people's opportunity, because like you said, we're privileged. We have opportunity to learn and do anything basically if you want to, and there's 24 hours in every single day, no matter what. Like
everyone's got the same amount of time.
Exactly. We're all, the sun's coming up and it's going down. That's inevitable. And we're probably going to have to work, and most people are going to have to work for somebody for a bunch of those hours, but there's still hours outside of that you can pursue whatever you really want in life. It's pretty cool. It is really cool.
It's I guess that reality check. Everyone does have the same amount of time, and how like the habits you fall into and the mindsets and beliefs you start forming about yourself as you grow can sometimes just be keeping you in the place that you're at.
Totally.
And there's that opportunity to just, in some ways, flip the script and just start acting and doing something, and then just see what that turns into, and maybe that can be a new habit, and then you're going to end up like a few years later in a way different position than if you didn't start that
For sure. Even within our business now, that's a thing, because you go through stages of everything, and how you feel is also what you put out there. If you're feeling super positive, you're going to be putting out positivity. yeah, it's always good to remember that, I think.
Yeah.
Because you can get down in the trenches sometimes in business.
Business is challenging. I
Yeah.
think, you need to, if you want to start a business, I think you've got to be pretty resilient and want to get challenged and push through them and overcome
every
them.
single day
It's such a beautiful feeling though when you do have something that comes to you that it is so challenging, and then you break through and you're like, yes, I did that.
Yeah,
I don't know,
totally.
I feel like that's a bit of a a bit of a positive thing to being a business owner.
And I feel like also in that there's that, especially I find in the small business kind of community, and myself included, I've been in that state of mind before where you're almost like a victim to the big dogs that are just dominating, or the really big competitor, or the tax man, or the customer's not paying enough, or the staff's not doing their job properly. Like, you can pretty quickly find yourself in a situation with a lot of negative thoughts coming through.
Yeah.
And almost like this state of poor me, I'm struggling small business owner, I should just go get a job. And I honestly had to get coaching in some parts of my business and myself personally to really like work through some of that stuff and to start thinking about things differently and actually taking steps and be like, I actually have 2 hours this afternoon. I'm going to actually do that thing that I keep complaining about that I'm not doing. Or like, I'm going to tackle that thing that's uncomfortable, have that hard conversation, or like.
And usually it's easier doing it than thinking about it.
Yeah.
That's
make it
usually
bigger
the
in
way.
your mind,
Maybe
right?
not. Yeah, usually the way. Like when I was a kid, I remember getting told this and it's stuck with me. It was like the whole, like, you got to clean your room when you're a kid, leave your room. Like, mum and dad, like, hey, clean your room. You're like, it's harder thinking about cleaning your room than actually cleaning your room as a kid. And it stems for the rest of your life, as in all those jobs that you're like, oh, I don't want to do, thinking about how hard it is.
Yeah.
And when you go clean your room, it takes 10 minutes and the room's clean. You're like, oh, that was pretty
amazing.
easy. And then, maybe these jobs don't take 10 minutes, but that kind of, it's the same kind of thing. It's always harder thinking about it than just doing it. And it's like, you can
sometimes
overthink
it is 10 minutes. That's what I found. It was like, I've had this huge painful task and I haven't wanted to do for 2 months on my to-do list. And I'm just like, I know it's important, but it's the lamest ever.
Yeah.
Got to bloody look at those numbers on that spreadsheet and make sure I'm not losing money or whatever it is. And
then 10 minutes later, I did it.
I should, now that I've seen that, I should actually make that change in my business. And then boom, and it's just like, now I've just revolutionized everything about my other problems. And it was a simple, do the hard things. Basically, do the hard things that you don't want to do. Sometimes is part of it. So.
It's a roller coaster ride, isn't it?
Oh,
Business.
yeah, exactly.
And
it very much, I feel like it starts showing your own, I don't know if you guys have found this, but it starts showing your own kind of flaws in the business. Like you start seeing, oh, this is an issue again because I didn't do that thing, or because I didn't want to have that conversation, or because I was avoiding this or whatever. And then you start seeing patterns emerge and you go, oh, that all comes back to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then,
that's
there's
what it
those
is.
Development, like things you need to like work through as a person, and
100%.
you get faced with your own shit. I guess.
100%.
Like,
it's humbling. It's good.
There's a quote I heard recently. I think that was like a re-recording of like Napoleon Hill. I guess he was like the first, or maybe one of the founding like people talking about how you can change your thoughts, do the actions, and actually improve your life, like self-help stuff. And it's just like golden nuggets everywhere.
Sick.
And I don't know if it's actually from one of his books or it's maybe some kind of regurgitated version of it. So shout out to whoever's inspired these thoughts. It is, success is not what you attain, but who you become, and who you become is determined by your beliefs. You know, we always think of success as, oh, we're going to get there, we're going to make this much money, we're going to have this huge business and it's going to be awesome. But it's kind of like the real success is who you've become to actually get there, if that makes sense.
100%.
Is there something within yourself that you've just, I'm so glad that I've worked through this, or I've overcome that kind of challenge? Or
for me, definitely trying to build products and then they're not up to scratch and getting angry about it too quickly and almost like creating a shitstorm in a teacup.
Yeah.
When
Is that beating yourself up almost? Or
beating myself up and being upset at the team that are trying to make it for you. This isn't good enough, which it's not, but just take a breath, have a moment, let's figure out the best way of fixing this problem before we just create an argument, or not even an argument, but more just relax a little bit on it, sit on it for half an hour instead of getting on the phone straight away and be like, this is no good, without actually an idea of how to make it any better. I think that's something that I've learnt after doing that.
It's like conflict resolution skills and like people skills.
That I took a little while, to be honest, to realise that, oh no, just got to relax, take a breath. The first time you see any of your new products, they're not up to what you want it to be. It's just how it goes. That's just we've literally just been working on a new product and we got it delivered the other day and it wasn't up to scratch, but I didn't get upset about it. So we've just got to fix this little bit, and which they did within 4 days, and it was fixed. Perfect. No worries.
You could have just had a huge argument. And
could have had a full-on screaming match for them, but we didn't. But I have done that before because it was like, I suppose when you put everything into something, and then you don't really have anything else to back it up. When you're trying to start something, it's very stressful, and I suppose that stress will give you that feeling of not happy and anger or whatever. You'll get there as long as you have the vision to stay strong to the vision and not accept anything less than your vision. But you just got to do it gracefully. Not be too like, because that's not going to get you anywhere in the end.
And sometimes you can find little things and pick out problems that are maybe like they're problems, but like they're not. When you boil it all down, you're like, it's not the huge world problem, and we're all going to be fine here. We don't need a.
We do have a saying for our business anyway. Like at the end of the day, it's cups and bottles.
That's cool.
And yes, we're trying to help people and we're trying to make beautiful products and everything, but at the end of the day, it's cups and bottles.
We
can. It's
take
okay.
A deep breath.
Take a breath.
It's hard to do that though when you're in the zone, isn't it? It's
fully,
like, Is there anything for you, Ellie?
I think a level of like leadership is something that's evolved in my personality, is probably like leadership. And I think when we first started the business, I guess because it was just the two of us, and I did you do look ahead and you're like, oh, okay, like we're going to have a team and things like that. But I guess you don't really know that if you've never employed someone before, you've never been like a leader or anything like that. Like my previous role, I wasn't like a manager, or I wasn't no CEO or anything like that. So I'd never really dealt with leadership before. And I think over the years, like growing our team, you have to learn leadership skills as you go. And I think that probably has been challenging a little bit for me as well. And then I'm like, no, you've got to be stronger. You've got to speak up. And I think just like working through that. And I guess something to be proud of for me is like being a good leader. And my previous role, being a commercial real estate agent, I had an incredible boss that I worked for. So I kind of like always had that as like my thing to strive towards, and just he was so flexible and so encouraging, and he did give everybody like myself like quite a bit of flexibility, and I think I like took that from him. And it was just like, if you give your team a bit of flexibility, like it just breeds like such beautiful culture. And I think we like to breed good culture in our business. I feel like that's what we're always striving to do. And I think that's probably a challenge, but maybe a feeling of success is, being a leader together, but a leader of people.
But a leader on your own too, and I think you are really good at that. And because Ellie and I suppose because we're business partners, but partners, and there's a lot of people that are, you're in the similar boat. And I'm not above Ellie and she's not above me. We're both here. So sometimes we don't agree on everything either. And you have to realize that, no, that the view might be right, that's not mine, or vice versa. Usually we're pretty on the same level, to be honest, like most of the time, but sometimes we're not. And if I'm feeling really passionate about whatever it is for the reason why I think, usually it's the right answer. And then same with Ellie's. No, I feel really strongly about this, and if I don't feel really strongly about it, take a second, and she's probably feeling really strongly about it for a reason, and realize that she is a leader and she probably knows better for whatever it is in that moment. You know what I mean? Like there is definitely those moments. We give each other the opportunity to have that leadership even within ourselves, because we're still business owners together.
But you got to go home and still be a couple.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's
it.
the hard
Go
challenge.
home and just talk about work all night.
Yeah.
we never do that. No.
So many people say to us like, "Oh my god, I don't know how you guys work together," and like,
Yeah.
but I honestly couldn't think.
We were in training for 2 years in our camper in Mexico. So
Yeah.
we were in like a 2 meter by 3
Oh,
meter
yeah,
box.
that's the training grounds,
Literally
yeah.
training grounds. When we got the camp, we looked at each other and we're like, "Oh, it's going to go either way from here."
I love working together.
Yeah, it's
I
awesome.
think
Yeah, do you recommend it?
if you have the right partner and
Yeah.
you are on the same page,
Yeah.
I feel like working together, if it is a stressful time or even a time to celebrate, you have each other, and it's like if it is really stressful, it's like, oh, I know why we're feeling like this. We don't
Yeah.
have to like be like, oh, I've had a shit day at work, you know, like
Yeah.
kind of thing. You're just like on the same page the whole time, and yeah, I guess business can breed flexibility too.
Yeah.
So I just think that if you had the business on your own and then you had to work late at night, you're by yourself.
Yeah, totally, yeah.
I think when mistakes happen, it's just like we kind of have a bit of a rule, like you don't really like blame each other, you know. It's like
Yeah, yeah.
everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah.
Like Dill's going to make mistakes, I'm going to make mistakes.
Oh, I don't make
We're all
mistakes. What do you mean?
What? Yeah, I don't either.
Oh, why'd you order that stock? I was like, oh, I think I made a typo.
Yeah.
And I feel like working together, I know from my wife and I, we were working closely together as well in a cafe setting. So we got to know each other so much faster
Yeah.
and on deeper levels. And you know, you kind of like, run into issues quicker. Whereas
Yeah.
if you're not spending that time together, you're getting your time on the weekend and things like that.
Totally,
Yeah, but-
totally.
I'm sure there's many people out there wondering, oh, I wonder if I should start something with my partner or not. And it's
Yeah.
cool to hear.
All
It
possible.
works.
Yeah, it
Everything's
does.
possible. There's
Yeah,
no right
yeah.
and wrong. I think we're probably getting close to wrapping up, but thanks so much for coming to the show. And where can people support you guys as Project Pargo?
Yeah, you can support Pargo by purchasing a Pargo at any of our retailers. We have our online store, and yeah, I just think that anytime that you purchase a Pargo, then you're going to help someone get access to clean water. So yeah, just another reason to make the change to a reusable cup,
Yeah.
reusable water bottle.
There's many perks, right? Because you're saving the plastic, and then
Yeah.
you're literally giving money from every sale, like straight to like someone getting access to clean water. You're supporting a bunch of legend business owners who are supporting an awesome team culture and making a great place to work.
Yeah, we always say
And
it's
you're
like a
supporting your
win-win,
health.
a
Yeah.
3-win, and your health too.
Yeah.
Drinking out of high quality
Yeah.
vessels is definitely better for your health.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. That's a whole
So
nother
many
topic.
positives.
Yeah.
That's another
Um,
podcast now.
Yeah, I think, like I said, any purchase, it really does directly go to help people. We're not
Yeah.
trying to greenwash or bullshit anyone. It's really buy a product and it does go towards them. I think
Yeah.
that's a big thing for us. We were worried that people were going to be, because skeptical. I'm a skeptic. I'm a massive skeptic. I'm like, is that really,
So some people, it's all just marketing.
Yeah,
whatever.
and
Yeah.
I'm sure some people have thought that, but that's just the truth. You can't hide behind the truth. So
Yeah.
That's why
we're
we call
going
it
out there.
Project Pargo too, by the way. So
Oh, cool.
every giving that we do is all project based.
Yeah.
So that's when Dylan said we've done 21 projects. We do the projects like that so that they're all completely tracked. So it's
Yeah.
not 5% of
transparent.
revenue is sent to some charity that does the work. It's actually
Pargo
where
projects, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Pargo projects, and
Yeah,
we're
so cool.
partnering with the NGO or charity on the ground and
Yeah.
doing that. So yeah, every dollar is
It's
tracked,
amazing.
and
Yeah.
that's just like something that we wanted to be super transparent and honest with people, and like we felt like maybe there are things out there that people are skeptical of, and that was one thing. We're like,
Yeah.
let's build a company that people aren't skeptical about.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's one of the big things that we always try to
Totally.
do.
You guys have built a beautiful business and you're beautiful people. So thanks for coming and sharing all your insights and all the highs and lows of Project Pargo.
Thank you,
We'll
and thank you for supporting Pargo since day one, pretty much.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
you're probably one of our
Compound
first
and- yeah.
retailers. So
No, we love it. Everyone, it's easy to support. Like, everyone loves it. They grab it off the shelf and want it. So it's a great product.
Yeah,
Thanks for
having
coming.
us.
We'll
Yeah.
see you in the surf.
Sounds good. Cheers.
see you
Thank
for
you.
a coffee.
Hey, so we started this podcast out of a desire to build a community around these conversations. So if you know somebody that would really enjoy listening to this show, please share it to them. It makes a huge difference. Thank you.